Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Tragic loss, ITV icon Bradley Walsh passes away suddenly at age 65. Broken our hearts this news. Must see. Intro. The chase where everyday folks step up to outsmart the country's top quiz minds. And where Bradley Walsh steals the spotlight with his charm, wit, and legendary banter. But this time, the tables turned, just a bit. In a moment that had the audience and viewers at home chuckling, Bradley made a cheeky swipe at one of his co-stars, after being the target of a well-timed joke dig. But what really happened behind the scenes? And what does it tell us about the bond between Britain's favorite presenter and the formidable chasers? In today's story, we take you beyond the laughs, behind the curtain, into a moment of light-hearted mischief that reflects more than just a joke. It reveals the heart of a show that for 15 years has lit up living rooms across the UK. So, put the kettle on, settle in, and join us as we explore how a single quip from Bradley Walsh became the highlight of the day and sparked something truly special. Setting the scene, a quiet day on set. The day had started like many others at the iconic Elstree Studios. The studio lights glowed softly as the production crew bustled quietly behind the scenes. The chase was on its fourth recording of the day, a pace Bradley Walsh often joked was enough to melt your brain faster than facing Anne Hegarty before lunch. There was a calm rhythm to the set, studio floor assistants giving final nods, contestants whispering nervously, and the chasers preparing their minds like seasoned athletes. But there was one thing everyone on set knew. Bradley's mood sets the tone. And today, he was in top form. It was during the introduction of the third contestant that things began to shift. The player, a cheeky Liverpoolian named Sandra, had already made an impression with her quick wit. And when she jokingly claimed, "I'm more scared of Bradley than the chaser," the studio erupted in laughter, including the chaser at the podium. Paul Sinha, today's chaser, grinned and fired back, "Well, that's because he's not just a host, but a part-time stand-up assassin." Cue Bradley's famous pretend gasp. And then came the swipe. Without missing a beat, Bradley turned to Paul, raised an eyebrow, and delivered his classic counter. "Coming from you, Paul, that's rich. Didn't I see you fluff a maths question last week? I thought the Cinnamon never sinned." The audience burst into laughter. Even Paul couldn't contain himself. He threw his head back and applauded the comeback. The crew, trying hard to remain quiet behind the cameras, broke into soft chuckles. Bradley continued, milking the moment. "You have that quiz face, Paul. Dead serious. Like someone told you the crossword was a tax return." It was classic Walsh. Quick, cheeky, and full of affection. It wasn't about landing a punch. It was about inviting everyone in on the joke. And that's the magic of Bradley. His swipes aren't jabs. They're little sparks of warmth wrapped in humor. The chemistry of co-stars. The chase isn't just a quiz show. It's an ensemble, and every chaser has their own rhythm. But Bradley is the glue. His relationship with each chaser is unique. With Paul, it's like a brotherly duel of wit. With Anne, it's dry sarcasm meets sharp timing. With Sean, it's playful respect. The barrister meets the showman. And with Mark, it's a double act of brains and brawn, complete with roast-style ribbing. But that chemistry isn't manufactured. Off-screen, they laugh just as hard. They dine together, celebrate birthdays, and, according to crew sources, once held a mock talent show at the wrap party, with Bradley singing Elvis and Jenny doing impressions of him. That cheeky moment, it was just a reflection of years of friendship, mutual admiration, and trust. Bradley can tease because he listens. He can mock because he cares. Behind the banter, a producer's take. We spoke to a senior producer from The Chase, who, while preferring to stay anonymous, offered insight into what happened that day. That moment between Bradley and Paul wasn't scripted. It never is. But we keep the cameras rolling because magic happens when they just flow. Bradley's swipe, it lit up the room.
He added that these spontaneous interactions are what elevate the show from just another quiz format to a national treasure. The producer recalled how in early days there was concern about balancing humor with tension, but Bradley proved it could be done, and done with flair. He reads the room. He knows when to joke, when to pause, when to be tender. That's why contestants love him and why viewers trust him. The chasers respond. Later that day, during lunch break, Paul shared a quick word with the press team. Bradley, he's a rascal, but a lovable one. We all give as good as we get. It's what makes the job fun. That swipe deserved. I had fluffed a math question. He just chose the perfect moment to remind me. Ann Hegarty chimed in, sipping her tea. Honestly, I dread the day he retires. There's no one like him. We'd be playing quizzes in silence if it weren't for Brad. It's not every day you hear chasers, people whose reputations rest on intellect and composure, speak so tenderly. But Bradley Walsh isn't just a host. He's family. Viewer reactions, social media erupts. After the episode aired, social media lit up. One user tweeted, Bradley Walsh is a national treasure. That swipe at Paul was gold. Another wrote, give Bradley his own comedy show. Oh, wait, he's had 3. Viewers in their 60s chimed in, with one Margaret from Dorset saying, reminded me of how my late husband used to tease the vicar during coffee mornings. Cheeky, but charming. That connection, that emotional response, is what keeps viewers returning. It's not just about the chase. It's about the chase of joy, of laughter, of feeling connected. A moment that defined more. In the world of television, moments come and go, but sometimes a single joke can reveal everything. The bond between colleagues, the spirit of a show, and the humor we all crave in our daily lives. Bradley's cheeky swipe may have lasted just 5 seconds, but it spoke volumes. It reminded us that behind every question and every quip is a man who understands the value of kindness wrapped in comedy. The legacy of Bradley Walsh. Bradley has worn many hats: comedian, actor, singer, quiz host, but perhaps his most enduring role is that of connector. He bridges generations. He brings quiz fans and comedy lovers together. He gives pensioners in Bognor Regis something to laugh about at 5 p.m., and 20-somethings a reason to record episodes on ITV Hub. He's a reminder that humor doesn't age, it matures. A cuppa with the chasers, behind the green room. After filming wrapped on that now famous episode, the green room buzzed with quiet laughter. Bradley entered, still chuckling to himself. He walked up to Paul Senha, clapped him on the back and said, "Mate, you set that up perfectly. I owe you a pint." Paul raised an eyebrow and replied, "Just don't quiz me on decimal points after 2 shandies." The rest of the cast, Anne, Sean, Jenny, and Mark, were already watching a playback on someone's phone. Mark Labette turned to Bradley and said, "You've still got it. I thought the audience was going to pass out laughing." This kind of camaraderie isn't staged. It's built over years of working closely together, touring, filming, and supporting one another through illness, loss, and triumph. These are friendships, not just colleagues. One crew member, Sarah, who's been on the show for nearly a decade, said, "It's like a family Christmas every day, but with more sarcasm." In a world of competitive telly, the chase has something rare: respect and genuine friendship. That cheeky moment on air? It was just a glimpse of the affection off it. The media jumps in, headlines and hilarity. The next morning, the press was quick to pick up on the clip. One article in the Daily Express called it the moment that proves why Bradley Walsh is the crown jewel of ITV. The Mirror cheekily asked, Has the Cinnamon finally met his match in the banter department? Radio shows from BBC Two to Heart FM referenced it in their breakfast segments. A clip aired on This Morning with Dermot O'Leary grinning as he said, "Bradley's done it again. Someone get that man a stand-up tour." But what the headlines didn't capture was the reason the moment landed so well. It wasn't just a joke. It was safe, joyful, clever humor. In a time when comedy often feels polarizing, Bradley's jokes bring people together, not drive them apart. That's why your mom loves him. That's why your grandkids think he's cool. He bridges that generational humor gap effortlessly. Remembering the early days, Walsh's journey. Bradley's road to the chase wasn't over.